Welcome to Whiskey and Wonder.
All right. We are here.
Hello, guys. I am back in the studio with Tyler.
I am still in the studio not by myself now,
No,
but
I'm here.
yes, someone's in the studio with Dinah.
Yay. Wait, what?
You know, someone's in the kitchen with Dinah.
Dinah? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just, you know.
You just replaced it with studio. I get it.
Yeah. So this is what we here for. Whiskey and Wonder.
Yep.
If you're on Twitter, it's Whiskey and One Day because they're dumb. But anyway, yeah, we are back for episode 18 this week.
Yep.
I got it right. I looked before we started this time. We are on, let me not speak too soon because we did not test this. It worked fine last time we were both in the studio. I think we might be on YouTube this week, guys.
Did you hit record?
Yes, I hit record. Everything. We're good.
Okay.
So last week we finished up the episode for anybody that's didn't see the video that I posted, the very dejected 2-minute long video.
Oh, poor Tyler.
To catch everybody up, I worked 2 hours trying to get the technical glitches out prior to us recording. We recorded. Afterwards, I upload the podcast aspect of it to all the places, and then I go to check the video, and it's 25 minutes shorter than it should be, and is not a video. It's like buffering the entire time.
Whoops.
Like it would like freeze on my face, and then it would skip to like Megan and freeze on her face, and she'd have like a dumb look on her face, like mid word, like, and then it would come back to me where I'd be like, and but the audio was fine, but you couldn't see us, and so
Hopefully it works now that we're back in the studio.
yes, for whatever reason, I think running all this stuff through one computer that I built it specifically for recording music, not video. So I think I've hit when you're virtual, I think I've hit the peak of what I can do. So I think you might have to record your own video, send it. Well, I don't know how. I don't know how we're going to do that.
Neither of us are going to get sick, and we won't have to ever do that, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Anyway, so let's.
Oh, I'm Megan.
Are you?
I am. Who are you?
John?
No, you're not.
Am I?
No.
I forgot who I am. I'm Tyler.
There you go.
If you're on YouTube, our names are there. You can see. You know that. We don't have to.
But someone might be new listening to the podcast, and they
Yeah.
have no idea who we are.
We welcome you. That's Tyler, and I'm Megan. So on that note, let's hop into a couple of announcements. And Megan touched on this just a second ago. COVID. It's done. I don't know if you guys heard, but it's done. I am clear. I've been back to work. One job. I am starting the other one back here this week. Megan's here.
Yep. Healthy, fine. Tests always negative. So, we're good.
Somehow, and I'm not sure how, because I was around family members without a mask because they're COVID deniers. And I was shamed into taking it. Anyway, point being, somehow I managed to not get anybody infected as far as I can tell, at least anybody that I know. So I'm pretty thrilled with that and going to give myself a round of applause.
Thank you, Tyler. Good job. You kept us all safe.
I take the burden on myself. I just carried everybody's burden on my back. That's what I do.
Just amazing.
Oh, my head. It's like this big right now. Anyway, also, another announcement is the website. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing us talk about it. It is coming along, slowly but surely. We each wrote a biography, and
Mine
of us
was wrong. Well,
it wasn't wrong. It just was a little not podcast related.
no, it was a little too personal. So,
Yeah. So
Tyler was like, no, you need to rewrite that. I'm like, oh, okay.
we just want it to relate a little more to whiskey and kind of how we got into that sort of stuff. So
I mean, that makes sense. I just took it as write a short biography about yourself. And so that's
I just
what
didn't.
I did.
I didn't explain it very well. I didn't even know what I was looking for, but needless to say, we are making progress on that. We're trying to figure out a store. It's gotten to the point where I think we talked about this on the last episode. In order to do a store, we need to become an LLC just for tax reasons and liability reasons and whatnot. So we are working on that. I think we're going to look into hand building a store on the website, which I hope to God I don't have to do because guys, for anybody that's never used WordPress, it's not hard, but it's not easy either unless you've used it before. So if you're just kind of teaching yourself, learning on the go, expect some growing pains. We may try to do something like an Etsy store or an Amazon store. We'll keep you posted. As it stands right now, the only thing we really have for sale are these fucking amazing stickers right here. It is the shape of the bottle, not this whole white thing if you're on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, it's our bottle logo.
Yep. About 5 inches big.
Yeah, I think it's about 4 or 5 inches, somewhere in that range.
Pretty sure it's
I
5.
almost did something very stupid.
What did you almost do? Now you And we're done.
Yep.
All right.
For anybody that couldn't tell held it down in my crotch. For anybody that couldn't tell on the video or the podcast. So with that, stickers are $3. If you're on YouTube, you can see all the places you can find us. I added the Facebook link. All that shit's right there below us and our personal ones and / podcast related ones, because whiskey.tyler is not my personal Instagram, but you know. We're working on Patreon, and what was the other new one? Was it just Facebook?
Facebook was the new one.
Okay.
So Patreon, and then the website.
The website, yeah. So you can find where to find us. It'll all be in the show notes. In addition to that, since we're a podcast about alcohol, if you struggle with alcohol addiction, we're going to put the number to call the people to help you with that.
We're going to put the helpline
Yeah.
in our description. There's nothing wrong with having a problem.
There's nothing wrong with seeking help either.
Exactly.
So that'll be in the show notes as well.
Yep.
I'll say that later. So I guess on that note, we will get into the whiskey.
Opening the bottle.
All right. So Megan talked to us about what we got today.
All right.
Because I'm excited since I picked it out.
So today we are drinking the Bogue Distillery Salted Caramel bourbon, which we've done their regular bourbon before. It had it was the one that was super leather tasting.
Yes.
So this is.
And yes, I went full basic white bitch and picked out. Oh man, I can't get the camera on this without the glare. There you go.
Salted caramel.
Salted caramel. I went full basic white bitch.
It should be pumpkin if you were basic white bitch. I mean, really.
Well, you're right. But, close enough.
Yeah. So as I was trying to figure out the tasting notes and stuff we should be experiencing this, I could not find an actual review anywhere about the salted caramel. So as far as I know, we might be the first people doing an actual review of this whiskey. I found lots of reviews for their regular bourbon, but not the salted caramel. So Bogue Sound, if you're listening, thanks. Hopefully it's a good whiskey and we'll give you a good review. Otherwise, oops, sorry.
Yeah. If I remember right, we both liked the actual
bourbon. Yeah, we did.
Bourbon. That was from friend Greg.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. I actually still have the bottle in my cabinet. Yeah, just out in my whiskey cabin out back.
We're
No, I
gonna
have-
need to build a whiskey cabin.
Yeah, I know. I'm running out of space of whiskey bottles. But anyway, it's in my cabinet just in case. I didn't want to forget the label and what it looked like.
Yep.
That way I could buy some more. And I do believe they make that in shooters, little shooter bottles as well. I've seen at the ABC
Yeah,
store here.
I've seen the shooters. But we've reviewed this company before, so I'm not going to get into like a big amount of the history. Bogue Sound is based in North Carolina, and well, because there's no tasting notes or anything that I can give you guys, me and Tyler are going to have to wing it on our own.
We're going to have to see what we get.
Yeah.
And I would just like to take a moment and say that my day has officially been shat on by Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh.
They can all go fuck themselves. And so can the Green Bay Packers right now because they do this to me every year. We're going to get to the NFC Championship game and then choke. So I poured
poor thing.
Even though I'm going to be the one presenting today, I poured an extra finger. And if I finish that, probably going to dive into the Woodford Reserve Double Oak that's still sitting here because I really like it. And also, another reason I bring up the Woodford Reserve is this past Monday was Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Mm-hmm.
So I had it off of work. Just what I needed. More time off of work after having a week and a half vacation at Christmas, coming back for one day, and then 2 weeks off for COVID, and then another vacation. So I literally didn't work for a month. But anyway, I took a spontaneous train trip on Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, just across the state, really.
Choo choo.
Yep. Just because it was cheap. Why not?
Okay.
And ended up in a brewery in Greensboro called Natty Greens, which apparently had their liquor license and had the regular Woodford Reserve bourbon. So naturally, once I saw this, I had a flight of beer. So naturally, once I finished those, I was like, well, bring me one. So I tried that. And I will say I liked the double oaked more. It was good, but I prefer the double oaked.
Okay. Maybe one day we'll have to do the regular.
I think it would be worthwhile doing the double oak and the regular side by side.
Oh, okay.
I think that would be worthwhile.
We could do that.
The note I took away from it is that it was spicier. The double oak is smoother. It is, which has got me thinking more expensive whiskeys might. It hurts our pocketbook, but so far they've been better than the cheaper ones. So
I mean, this
for the most part,
true.
So. But anyway, on that note, I reckon let's sniff this thing.
Okay, you go ahead and sniff first. Normally here I would be talking to you guys more about the whiskey. But again, like I said, we don't have anything on this whiskey. So I did find
free balling.
Yeah, free balling. I did find a recipe for salted caramel, bourbon, pecan, French toast, which sounds amazing. So I'm going to make that, I think.
Yeah, I 100% told Megan when she's told me that if I don't end up liking this bottle is all yours, just so you can make that. So my first scent is overwhelmingly sweet. I get a little bit of alcohol scent in there, but mainly it's almost syrupy, and I definitely do smell caramel.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I really have to sniff hard to get like a burn from the alcohol. I can just kind of tell it's like faintly there.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like it has a mapley smell.
Yeah, like a very syrupy, mapley.
Yeah.
Maybe a hint of vanilla. It's just all around sweet.
Very sweet. Very curious to know what it's going to taste like if it's as sweet as it smells.
Yeah, I'm flashing back to Screwball.
Oh no.
Hey, Screwball smelt delicious.
It did. Did not taste delicious. Sorry, Screwball. All right.
All right, dive on in there. So while Megan drinks, I'm gonna show off my pretty glass.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow! I don't think. Oh, all right. I'm gonna reserve my judgment. Here I go.
Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. It is not whiskey.
Oh my god!
It is.
It's salted caramel.
It's salted caramel. It is sweet AF.
Yeah, it's sweet, but it legitimately
tastes
tastes like salted caramel.
Yeah, it tastes like drinking salted caramel.
It-
Like I'm shooketh.
Shooketh. It definitely had some burn going down with me. Like it had a lingering burn down the esophagus that's still there, but not bad in any stretch. Megan is taking like 3 or 4 sips if you're not on YouTube.
This is bloody dangerous because I could sit here and just drink this because it's not. I mean, there's a slight burn, but it
Yeah, there's not much. You don't really know it's whiskey.
no. Let's see. What is the? This is 75 proof, 37.5 ABV. So it's not as strong as some whiskeys that we've had in the past, but it's up there. Like Basil Hayden's is 40% ABV. So.
Woodford Reserve is 45.2.
Okay, so it's on the lower end, but it's still a whiskey. It's not. It hasn't like gone down to like a beer or a wine.
Yeah.
So this is one.
One thing that and see, you've taken multiple sips. I've still only taken the one, and it's leaving. It's not leaving. It's left an aftertaste in the back of my throat, but I can't pinpoint what the taste is.
All right, I'll stop sipping on it so I can get that aftertaste. Because, I mean, I could sit here and shoot this. I could chug it. I don't know. I really want to make that French toast now. So I hope you let me take the bottle home. Or
see, I think the burn. I just took a second sip. I think the burn is getting me more than it is you.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Yeah, because I felt that one like in the back of my throat where my nose hole meets my mouth hole.
I'm not getting a big burn. Like,
It didn't burn going down that time, but I could get like the alcohol going through my nose.
I can definitely taste that it's alcohol. But it's so sweet.
Yeah, it is very sweet though.
So desserty. I mean, we're gonna have to, I guess, reserve our final thoughts to the end. But I'm John A.P. Conoley, Salted Caramel. Thank you, Bogue Sound Distillery. We're gonna see what we think at the end.
I just want to let y'all know, I got the bottle over here. I pulled it away from her. So because she has to drive home.
I do. I have a little T-Rex arm,
because
so I can't reach.
can see her while I'm talking, pouring a little bit more in there.
I definitely could see myself doing that too. So, yeah, wow.
Yeah. So with that, we're gonna hop into the one. Well, I have one more thing that I would like to say.
Yes.
And to whoever, I'm pointing at the camera if you're not on YouTube, to whoever tried to log into my Instagram, fuck you. Instagram alerted me earlier today that there was an unauthorized login from some other country. I don't even remember where it was, but fuck you. Why are you trying to take my Instagram? Like, what of all the Instagrams to take?
I don't know.
Anyway. All right. So we're going to hop into the wonder segment.
Okay.
Let me find my notes here.
Yeah, it's your turn this week, Tyler.
It is my turn. And just because of how hectic it's been and my to-do list is ever growing, this is what I was going to say earlier. It's probably going to end up being a little bit of a short episode.
Okay.
I did really enjoy this topic. But I decided to do, if you've listened to previous episodes, one from friend Morgan.
Oh.
I chose the London beer flood of 1814 because I like beer a lot, and a beer flood sounds amazing. And we've had some heavy episodes the past couple weeks.
Yeah,
and so I figured this would be lighthearted, and boy, was I wrong.
Oh no.
It's kind of lighthearted, but it's not lighthearted at the same time.
Oh shit. Well, thank you, friend Morgan, for the suggestion.
Absolutely.
I hope Tyler does your topic justice, and I'm a little scared now. So
All right. So,
teach me.
well, what I'm gonna say is as far as it being a short episode before I start is for like episodes like Bitcoin and the Challenger space shuttle program thing, I had 6 pages of notes. For this one, I only had 3.
Oh,
So, but
yeah.
it's a relatively
condensed.
topic.
Yeah, probably like the Tunguska experiment.
Yeah. So here we go. On October 17th, 1814, around 5:30 p.m., one of, if not the worst beer-related tragedy occurred in the St. Giles Rookery in London.
Tragedy.
I'm not gonna lie, I have not heard of any other beer tragedies.
I've never heard of a beer tragedy, but
well, apart from like drunk driving and whatnot.
well,
but,
yeah, okay. We're
that could be other alcohols too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
don't drink and drive.
So this tragedy resulted in the loss of thousands of gallons of beer, 8, possibly 9 lives,
Oh no!
and sparked rioting in the area.
Jesus
Like I said,
Christ.
you think it's
I was thinking
it's gonna
this would be something
lighthearted.
fun and exciting.
No, it gets a little dark.
It's dark. What?
Yeah. So
Oh, geez.
All right.
Okay.
so before we get into the actual event, let's take a look at the St. Giles Rookery.
Okay. What is that?
Do you know what a rookery is?
Is it a distillery in Britain?
No.
No. Okay. Then I have no fucking idea.
So St. Giles is a district of London located in the southwest part of the borough of Camden. Yes, nay, hello. So originally, St. Giles was created in 1120 when Queen Matilda, what a name, who was the wife of Henry I, founded a monastery, chapel, and a hospital in order to create a quote-unquote colony for lepers, which I didn't know what a leper was. I've heard it, but I didn't know. That's somebody with leprosy.
Okay.
The site was chosen because it was separated from surrounding parts of London by fields and marshes, and this
Get out
isolation.
of society.
Yeah, pretty much we're going to put you lepers over here and you be infected over there.
Yeah.
Don't
you stay
infect
away
the rest
from
of us.
us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It was named after St. Giles, who was the patron saint of lepers. I see what they did there.
I get it. I get it a lot.
Yes.
Very clever. Good on you, London.
So fast forward to the 18th and 19th century, and St. Giles has become a rookery. What is a rookery, you might ask? Because I didn't know. It's essentially a slum.
A slum.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's the ghetto.
Yeah.
Oh.
1800 ghetto. As London grew, so did St. Giles. By 1831, the population was about 30,000 people, and it continued to increase during the 1840s due to many Irish immigrants relocating there because of the Great Tater Famine, which would be a great topic for another day.
That would be a very good topic.
Yeah.
I remember learning about that in a U.S. history class.
I didn't learn that
Or
much
not U.S.
about
history. Fuck me.
European history.
Yep.
Oh,
Whatever.
you're one of those nerds that doubled up on the history.
I did. I've always been interested in history.
I hated history when I was in high school.
Really?
Hated it. The only history I enjoyed was learning about World War II. It fascinated me. Beyond that, did not care. Openly made a mockery in my AP U.S. history class. I just didn't like it.
Did you guys see that AP he threw out there?
Oh yeah, I was an AP student. Come on now, 26th in my class.
Out of 26?
No, out of like 300.
Oh.
Yeah, I was
impressive.
top 10%, baby.
Good
Woo!
job.
Yep, it all leaked out somewhere.
That happens to all the gifted kids.
Yeah, I know. Don't do, well, I didn't do drugs. Don't drink. So the
Except
area,
listen to this podcast. It's fine.
yeah. You can listen and not drink.
That's true. My
Yeah.
dad does not drink, and he listens.
There you go.
So,
Thanks, Papa. Megan's Papa. I'm not gonna say your last name.
I mean,
I mean,
okay.
I put it on the website and it's on your Instagram. So
and
thanks, Papa Cross.
yay.
I am gonna say it.
There you go.
All right. So the area became known as one of the worst slums in Britain, and I have two quotes here that I think pretty accurately summarize.
All right. This is like Oliver Twist. Excuse me, sir. May I have some more?
So Peter Ackroyd, who is a biographer and novelist, wrote that, quote, "The Rookeries embodied the worst living conditions in all of London's history. This was the lowest point which human beings could reach."
Oh, no.
Yeah, not.
Oh, that's terrifying.
And then we've got another gentleman by the name of Henry Mayhew, and I don't know if there's any relation to Peter Mayhew, but they are both English. So Peter Mayhew played Chewbacca, for anybody that doesn't know. So Henry Mayhew wrote, "The parishes of St. Giles, with its nests of close and narrow alleys and courts, inhabited by the lowest class of Irish costermongers, has passed into the byword as the synonym of filth and squalor. And although New Oxford Street has been carried straight through the middle of the worst part of its slums, the Rookery, yet especially on the south side, there are still streets which demand to be swept away in the interest of health and cleanliness. They are a noisy and riotous lot, fond of street brawls, equally fat, ragged, and saucy, and the courts abound in peddlers, fishwomen, news criers, and corn cutters." So, to just to put that in modern English, it sucked to live there.
Eloquent.
Yeah. I'm blunt and to the point. Due to the terrible conditions in the growing populations, cholera and tuberculosis ran rampant to the point where they ran out of room in the graveyard
Noise.
and had to be buried in other districts.
Noise.
So, again, to summarize, this place was a shithole.
Okay.
Also, one little baby Tyler nugget, because I had to look this up. Damn, what's it called? I forgot now. Tuberculosis is called something else. To be
TB?
Not TB, to be something. There's like a verb.
Well, you suck.
Yeah, I forgot what I googled. Let me see if I can find
Your
it.
baby Tyler nugget is
My baby Tyler nugget just
nothing.
It was like a shart. Like a full-on shart.
Oh. Well, as you're looking that up, all I'm picturing talking about this Rookery is Oliver Twist.
That sounds pretty accurate.
I mean that's a fantastic
Consumption. If you have consumption, it means you have tuberculosis. Or if you die of consumption, I did not.
I knew that. How did I know that?
I'm dumb boy.
Oh, I knew that somehow. I don't know why, but I knew it.
Anyway, that's what it is. If you die of tuberculosis, you died of consumption. I thought if you died of consumption, you died of you did something stupid while you were drunk, like fucking pass out on the railroad tracks or something. Or just drank yourself into an early grave. Yeah.
No, that's not consumption. Yeah, I'm picturing Oliver Twist. Charles Dickens wrote that book. It's a fantastic book.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic book.
You keep saying that, but I don't think it's true. It's an okay book.
It's a very good book.
Yeah.
Nah. You're wrong.
So, well,
as usual.
Navia. So, Navia keeps taking her nose as I'm mousing on the computer, trying to scroll to the next page and nosing my arm up so that I can't mouse it.
Can't mouse it.
Yeah.
Is that a verb now? We're gonna mouse it?
Yeah, we're gonna mouse things.
Okay.
All right, so let's flash back to October 17th, 1814 now. So, located in St. Giles is the Horseshoe Brewery, owned by, it's spelled M-H-O-R-S-H-O-E M-E-U-X.
Mooks? Muix?
It's pronounced, I looked it up. Ugh. Stupid French language. Meh.
Muh.
Meh. I literally typed in my notes pronounced M-U-H.
Meh.
Meh. So anyway, the Horseshoe Brewery was owned by Meh and Co. Sir Henry Meh was followed in the doorsteps of his followed in the doorsteps. Sorry, I'm getting too caught up in the Meh. Sir Henry
I'm dying over here.
Sir Henry Meh was following in the footsteps of his father, Sir Richard Meh, in the beer making business. I mean, the dude's name is Dick Meh. Come on. Meh. Ugh, what a fucking terrible France. Change your language.
French is a beautiful language.
Okay.
Like normally.
All right. Anyway, Papa Meh had co-owned the Griffin Brewery and had constructed the largest vat in London. These vats were capable of holding 20,000 imperial barrels, which, if you know any conversion rate, that's 42 gallons a barrel, which comes out to 864,684 gallons.
That is insanity.
For comparison, an Olympic-sized swimming pool holds about 660,000 gallons. So it's about almost about 1.25 Olympic-sized swimming pools. So
that's an obnoxious amount of liquor.
Beer.
Ale, whatever.
Porter, specifically.
Mm.
So Baby Meh tried to copy Papa Meh and built his own large vats at the Horseshoe Brewery, which he had bought. And he built vats that held 18,000 imperial barrels. And while this is an impressive feat, I'd like to note that he still got dad-dicked.
He got dad-dicked?
Dad-dicked, yeah.
What is dad-dicked?
Oh,
I've never
Lord.
heard of that.
Dominated by another male, essentially. It comes from like when you're a kid, as a dude. Like I remember showering with my dad when I was a little kid, and like his dick looked huge, and so it's like, you know, you got dad dicked, dominated.
Okay, that sounds like some weird toxic masculinity shit.
You never heard of dad dick?
I've never heard of dad dick.
It's a kid term now. The kids say it.
The kids say it.
I'm hip. Oh yeah.
On fleek.
Oh yeah, on fleek. You don't have a swoop anymore.
I don't. I need to get a haircut.
Anyway, after getting dad dicked, Baby Meh preferred to brew porters, which is a dark style of beer that was popular in London at the time.
And still is.
Yeah, it still is. It was originally brewed in London. Nobody can pinpoint the exact time, but they think it was in the 1700s. So relatively new, considering this is, start of 1800s.
Yeah.
These large vats were essentially pressurized wooden barrels held together by 700-pound iron bands.
Okay. Like a barrel.
Yeah, think a cask, a wooden cask.
Yeah, I can see that in my head.
That holds, 18,000 imperial barrels.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I get it.
Around 4:30 p.m., the storehouse clerk, whose name was George Crick, noticed that one of the iron bands around the vat had slipped.
Oh no.
Now this particular vat was completely full of porter beer and had been aging for about 10 months. Apparently these iron bands fell off a couple times a year.
That's safe.
Yeah. But Crick passed the information along to a supervisor and was told that, quote, no harm would ensue. And he was instructed to write a note for one of the owners to have it fixed later. Well,
he was wrong.
Harm then ensued.
He was super wrong. Okay.
Wrong. About an hour later, the vat burst with no warning. Because the vat was pressurized, the force of the burst damaged damaged/destroyed several other vats, causing them to release even more beer.
Oh, no.
It's estimated that around 320,000 gallons of beer were released from this failure.
Oh,
Now,
no.
if you're with me, if you're smart and pay attention to details, you might be thinking, wait a minute, that's not the 800,000 plus gallons that you said earlier could be held in this when
Yeah.
he got dad dicked. That's because it wasn't the largest vat that failed.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, historians
Oh,
aren't
thank God.
sure exactly how much beer was held in the vat that failed, but they do know it was enough to wreak havoc.
Just imagine if it was the full 800,000.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what?
Another, sorry, this is a sidetrack, but another example of, you said you're picturing Oliver Twist.
Yeah.
I'm kind of picturing Tortuga from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay. I get that.
Mash that up with Oliver Twist, and that's
Okay. I can see that.
because it's basically drunken prostitutes everywhere,
Okay.
according to a lot of sources. Anyway,
Now that you're saying like all this broke, I am picturing now like a cartoon and like the dude opens the door and there's just like a wall of beer and he just looks at it and then it falls.
not quite.
No. Okay.
The force of the beer actually knocked down the rear wall of the brewery
The
and
wall?
sent bricks flying, damaging neighboring roofs.
Holy shit.
It's almost like a movie where a mad scientist or the government or something came up with a monster in a lab, kind of like Jurassic Park. They created this thing
And, it just,
and they had it contained, and then
it
all of a
broke
sudden
free.
it broke out of the containment, and except this monster was beer.
Okay.
So now you got this 15-foot tidal wave of beer. Just
15 foot.
it was 15 feet
Oh my,
at its biggest.
15 feet. That is
Part of me wants to take a swim.
3 of me.
Part of me doesn't. And remember, this is 1814. How many people know how to swim?
I mean, living in London, they're on that. I would hope a lot of people could swim. I would
I
hope.
think the majority of people didn't know how to swim.
No.
So like I said, a 15-foot tidal wave of beer is flowing through St. Giles. The wave destroyed 2 houses and badly damaged 2 others. It washed people away, flooded many basements and cellars where people were inside, and they were forced to climb on top of furniture to avoid drowning. In one of the 2 houses, Mary Bamfield, and that's Bam with an M, was having tea time with her daughter, Hannah,
Oh, no.
and another little girl
Oh.
when the beer swept through. Hannah, the little girl, was killed while her mother and the other little girl were washed into the street. In the cellar of the second house, a wake was being held by an Irish family for a 2-year-old boy who had died the previous day. Then the beer wave struck, and it filled the cellar, killing the boy's mother, along with the 4 other mourners, including a 3-year-old child.
Oh no, I don't like this story anymore.
It got dark fast.
That escalated quickly.
I mean, it's a 15-foot wave of beer.
I mean,
Nobody can swim, and they're all in cellars.
oh my God. That's
Shit happens. I shouldn't say shit happens, but, that's a recipe for disaster. That's a better way of phrasing it.
oh wow. Okay.
Oh, God.
Tyler's dying, guys. I don't know if you can hear him.
I'm sorry.
Did you go down the wrong pipe?
Mm-hmm.
He drank
Yep.
water and it went down the wrong pipe.
I took a drink of water, and it went down the wrong pipe. I'm dying.
I can. Oh well. Does anyone want to be a co-host of a podcast?
Oh, man. I leave all this equipment to Navia. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I hope
You
y'all.
okay?
Yeah.
Do we need to take a break?
No, I'm a survivor. I'm a COVID survivor. I'm gonna power through this. As the wave impacted the Tavistock Arm, a local pub, it caused a wall to topple onto 14-year-old barmaid Eleanor Cooper, who was washing pots. She did not survive. In another house down the street, another 3-year-old named Sarah Bates was found dead. Although I couldn't really find much information on this death other than the fact that she was found dead. after all this. Amazingly, everybody that was in the brewery survived, but several were taken to the local hospital.
Mm.
I'm sorry, I'm still fighting the urge to cough here. At the time, I would say most of England, as well as the local newspapers, disliked the Irish immigrants and reported very little on the scene, and didn't care enough to report on a death that occurred long after the beer wave had receded. In the aftermath, people scrambled to find whatever they could to gather up as much free beer as they could. They were looking for pots, cauldrons, cups, flagons, hollowed out horns, whatever they could find to get this free beer. And some people even resorted to just, drinking it.
Just laying in the ground. You do what you got to do when you live in the slums.
Exactly. The scramble for this free beer resulted in mass drunkenness. And as mentioned above,
That's not funny.
it's fucking hilarious. I have a fucked up sense of humor, though, so.
I mean, I would also say I have a very dark sense of humor, but I shouldn't. I shouldn't.
Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, there was one death, and it happened much later after this beer wave had receded. I'm sure you can probably guess what it was from. Alcohol poisoning. There's that fucked up sense of humor.
Oh God.
So the area was said to have looked like it had been through an earthquake or a fire once the carnage was properly assessed.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So I found this hilarious as well. And this says a lot about me. The brewery began charging people to come and view the scene and the destroyed vats, and several hundred people showed up.
Damn, you're an asshole.
As a businessman. The mourners who were killed in the cellar were each given their own wakes at a nearby public house, while the other bodies were laid in a nearby yard by their families. Some families even followed the brewery's lead and charged people to see the bodies.
To see a dead body. Come see my 3-year-old daughter.
Not just a dead body, a body killed by beer. A beer tidal wave. How many people can say that in the history of the world?
I mean, probably like 3 or 14. 8. However
8,
many.
9? I'm not even going to count the guy that died from alcohol poisoning. Not 8 people that can say that in history ever.
I still would not pay to see that person's dead body. And if it was my child or
I
my
wouldn't
spouse,
pay for it. I'd try to find a way to sneak in, but that's because I'm cheap. I'm cheap.
I have no desire to see a dead body. Thank you.
Oh, seen them.
I've seen them too. That's why I don't want to see them again.
Yeah. One such, I want to talk about that off the air.
Okay.
Yeah. That's an interesting story.
That's like where my depression like really spiraled out of
control. Oh, really?
It's
okay.
Fun story.
Well, we don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
No, I'll talk about it. I don't care.
One such viewing
Break the stigma.
actually resulted in the floor collapsing under the weight of too many people trying to view the dead body and plunged them all into a beer-flooded cellar. I don't know if anybody died from that, but that's fucking hilarious. They hadn't even got the beer out.
Sounds like an SNL skit.
It kind of does. In addition to all this, other collections were taken up for the families. So, at this point, you might be wondering, why wasn't the brewery held responsible for this? And why didn't they have to pay these people? Well, that's a good question. I'm not an expert in 19th century British law. But what I have gathered is that an investigation was conducted and the brewery was taken to court. However, the jurors ruled that this was and I quote, an act of God. And that the lives had been lost casually, actively, and by misfortune. Therefore, no one was responsible.
Wrong. Wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. That was not an act of God.
An act of God.
No, that was an OSHA violation.
OSHA doesn't exist in
Well, it should.
England. That's an American thing.
Is it? Whatever England's OSHA is. Whatever. They have to have an OSHA.
I'm sure they do.
They're safer than we are.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been there. Maybe. But I'm sure they don't have actual OSHA because that's an American government thing.
Look that shit up.
It's believed by some that the brewery bribed their way into this decision. However, due to the loss of beer, partial destruction of the brewery itself, the company was teetering on the edge of bankruptcy. So who actually knows if they had the money to do that? It's estimated that the flood cost the brewery around 23,000 pounds at the time. For reference, that's about 1.25 million pounds today. The company was able to avoid bankruptcy, however, because it was able to reclaim excise duty that had been paid on the beer. And excise duty is a type of tax designated to discourage the purchase of a particular good. So essentially, they had already paid tax on this beer and were able to go to the government and say, hey, we paid tax on that beer that we can't sell, and so give us our tax money back. And they did it.
Wow. There is an OSHA in England, and it is called OSHA.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
So
I thought that was American.
No, that the Occupational Safety and Health Administration.
Interesting, because don't they normally call their things ministries?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
that's why there's the Ministry of Magic.
UK-EU-OSHA by Europa.eu.
Interesting. Yeah, because I know they normally call their stuff ministries. That's why in Harry Potter it's the Ministry of Magic, not just for the, I believe that's alliteration where everything's the same letter. Or is that constipation? No, wait, that's me. In addition to reclaiming the tax money on the beer, the company was compensated about 7,250 pounds, which is about 400,000 today for the lost beer.
This is their fault.
An act of God.
Yeah, okay.
Horseshoe Brewery actually opened back up shortly afterwards and was open until 1921 at that location.
They survived. They kept selling beer.
Yeah. Until, they were there until 1921. Then Baby Meh decided to move the operation to another brewery that he had purchased in 1914. Meh and Co. lasted until 1961 when it went into liquidation. So as for the families who lost members, they received nothing from the company and nothing from the government. Go fuck yourself.
Wow.
Pretty much is what they were told.
Wow. Fuck them.
Mm-hmm. So, but they also got nothing from the government. So the government's not doing any favors either. You got to remember, this is also predominantly Irish people in Britain. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked there thinking of a quote from a show, and it's relevant in a way, and it's very politically incorrect. But
well, now you have to say.
I'm not going to say it because it says the N-word in there twice. But
what show is it from? It's
from a show called Hell on Wheels. It used to be on AMC. It's about building the railroad, the town that followed the Union Pacific as it built the railroad across the continent, the first transcontinental railroad. Anyway, basically there's an Irish guy that's very, very, very racist. You basically have two protagonists. One's a white guy, one's a black guy. And there's this one Irish guy that's very racist towards the black guy. And obviously this is right after the Civil War ended. So, tensions are still high. And he basically goes on to say something about Elam, the black guy, confronts him and is like, why you got such a hard on for me or for black people? And the Irish guy goes, because we were the black people in where I come from in England. So essentially they were treated like Irish were treated like scum in England in this time. So that's probably why the government didn't step in and help them.
Can't we all just be equals?
No, I'm better than everybody. I kid.
Yeah, okay.
I kid. My head, and remember, Megan built my head up to this big.
It's all my fault.
Yeah,
I did it.
she did it. She did it.
It's me.
I realized I pointed at my whole hands off the screen. She did it.
Look at the little T-Rex arm.
One final note on
shit.
the disaster. It did result in the phasing out of wooden fermentation casks. They were replaced by vats that were lined with concrete.
Oh, gross.
Would you rather have exploding wooden
No,
ones?
no, I would not. But
And that's the story of the London beer flood of 1814.
wow.
Meh.
Meh.
Stupid name, stupid language. Ugh. I think the only good thing that France ever gave the rest of the world was a blowjob. You want another little Tyler nugget?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, that's where the blowjob came from. French women were doing it, and when American men went over, well, that's how it came to America. I'll say it that way. They went over there and were sleeping with French women during World War I, and they brought it back. I looked it up. That's where the blowjob came from, guys. Not what you expected today, huh?
No. Fascinating. I was thinking thank France for, croissants and some really good cuisine, but
Yeah. I've had French food. It's not that good. It's a lot of snails.
escargot is delicious.
Meh. Oh my God, I gotta make that a sound. Meh.
It's like an angry cow.
It is. All right. So that's that. We're gonna where my schedule is. All right, we're gonna duck out of the wonder segment and jump into it's time for trivia with Tyler. I made my own jingle this time because I still haven't got mine.
Well, COVID is delaying lots of shit.
Yeah,
Don't be.
I might reach out to my to our
voice actress.
see if we can get something temporary.
Yeah. And we need a wonder segment thing too.
Yeah, I know. My friend, I just checked my phone because again I keep trivia with Tyler on here, and my friend has sent me a post on Instagram on my personal one, and I can see it's from NFL something or another.
And rubbing in that wound.
I don't want to look at it. I was finally back into a good mood. I've been in a bad mood all afternoon, and I was finally back into a good mood, and no, I'm not. Anyway,
The sports ball did wrong.
Yeah. No, not the sports ball, the sports team and the old man. Anyway, I actually have this is just an episode chock full of Tyler Nuggets because this is like number 3, and I actually have a double feature for Trivia with Tyler today. So there's going to be 4 Tyler Nuggets in here. Whew, and one of them was a shark. All right. So Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak. Oh, actually, no, let me start with this one. Steve Jobs never coded for Apple. According to Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, he didn't do any original design, and one of Apple's earliest employees also stated that Woz was the inventor while Jobs was the marketing person.
Yeah, that's the way it worked for Microsoft as well. Though Bill Gates did do some of the coding, he mainly was the marketer. What was his partner's name? I did a huge project on these guys in high school.
Well, while you find that, I'm going to give my other nugget. Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak has disdain for money and large wealth accumulation. In 2017, he said he didn't want to be near money because it could corrupt your values. When Apple went public, Wozniak offered $10 million worth of his stock to early Apple employees, something which Steve Jobs refused to do.
Wow.
I like Wozniak. I already liked him way more than Jobs. I like him a lot more now.
Paul Allen is...
Never heard of him.
Bill Gates Wozniak.
I did not know that. Interesting.
Yes.
So, Which one of us? Oh, I think we already know which one of us is the marketer and which one of us is the inventor. Or do we?
I don't know.
Megan's face.
I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm curious. What's your opinion? Who's the marketer and who's the inventor?
Oh fuck, I don't know. I would say you're probably the inventor more so than
yeah.
I am.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the
Okay.
marketer. You do all the social media
Yeah.
stuff for the most part.
Okay,
Yeah,
I thought this was a trick question.
yeah no.
No. Okay.
There ain't no such thing as trick questions with me. This stupid thing is squeaking somehow. My mic boom.
WD-40.
I have WD-40'd the shit out of this thing and it's still squeaking. I can't figure out where it's coming from.
Well.
But anyway, on that note, let's do this.
Final thoughts.
So, I'll make an observation that for those people that are listening via podcast, this is my glass. My glass is empty. I finished it, but I was also telling a story, so I kind of had to throw them back. And Megan's is not.
No. And I can tell you the reason why. Because I've been purposefully trying to sip on it.
Okay.
Because I want to throw it back. I want to just gulp it because it is delicious.
Okay.
So I've been trying to maintain myself and just do little sips so I don't kill myself.
Okay. I really enjoyed throwing it back. It was good. It was delicious. Yum, yum. Tasted like salted caramel with a hint of that alcohol taste.
I mean, with how leathery the John A.P. Conoley bourbon was when we originally did it, like I remember it tasting like chewing on leather. I can't remember what episode it was.
Yeah, I don't either, but that was I can still taste it in my mouth. That it was that strong of a leather taste.
And I was expecting this to be like sweet leather, but it is like drinking melted caramel that you maybe dropped a shot of whiskey in.
That's very interesting because I 100% took it at face value and said, "Oh, I'm gonna drink salted caramel."
I was expecting leather.
This is exactly what I expected, frankly.
Well, not what I expected at all. So I am impressed. So I'm going to say thank you, friend Greg, for introducing us to this this brand. Because nice,
Absolutely,
nice.
No, I really liked it.
It's so good.
I didn't necessarily get a chance to sip per se. I don't think I'd want to sip this.
It's hard to
Why? Why is it hard?
because it is so sweet and so good. It's
Okay.
like a dessert. I mean, and I would say I have a sweet tooth. So like, I want to just shove it in my face.
I definitely have a sweet tooth that I can't control. It's a shooter for me. It's delicious. I really like it. I'm surprised because it's so sweet, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it's something I could, it's one of those that I would keep in the cabinet and break out on occasion.
Yes, I agree.
It's
I would
not special occasions, just whenever
once
the
in a while
urge.
when you want something sweet. I would never ever mix this with anything. I think it needs to be drunk straight.
I haven't mixed it with anything, so I don't know.
I can't picture mixing this with like making a whiskey sour out of this or making
But
like a Jack and Coke type
yeah,
drink. So,
I could actually see myself doing that because I'm a huge fan of vanilla Coke, and I think that would be an interesting combo. Adding a little bit of vanilla to this because it's almost like it's got some vanilla. I can see myself trying that one actually. Big brain time. Yeah, like I said, this wouldn't be any kind of celebratory whiskey. Just when the mood strikes. Yeah, I want something a little sweet.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to call it a shooter. Megan wants the bottle. I don't know if I should give it to her.
I'm not going to pour anymore. I'm trying to see if there's a like sugar content written on it.
Oh, that's a good point. Yes, I'm still fighting where that water went down the wrong pipe.
There is not a sugar content in this, so Lord knows how many grams of sugar there is.
I don't know.
But
Oh, excuse me.
this is batch number 26, bottle number 304. That's handwritten on the bottle.
Nope.
Nope.
There you go. Can you see it? There you go.
All right.
Yeah, she's holding it up to the camera for anybody that's listening to the audio of this.
I love when whiskeys have the things like handwritten on them. It feels more personal, and I don't know. In my opinion, it shows that the company is a company that really cares and values what they do. They aren't just a mass-produced meh.
So, with all that being said, what you rate it? First off, do I hit this button or not?
What button?
Pew, the shooter button. I call it a shooter. I think it's 100% something I would shoot.
Yeah.
All right, it's a shooter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shooter. It's dangerously good. Like, as a whiskey, I would not rate it very high because it's not whiskey-y to me. So,
Interesting.
as a whiskey, if I'm judging it as just a whiskey, it's going to be like 3 or 4.
I don't think there's very much sugar in there because I don't know enough about the process, and it's something that I've actually thought about doing as a topic of how to do whiskey, but I don't know if they can add sugar into that process or if they just have to. Oh,
We'll have
something to look
that up.
If anybody's aware, let us know.
So
Teach us about how they make whiskey.
definitely.
If you're part of a distillery, we'll come take a tour.
Yeah.
You know?
We'll
Shit like
review
that.
your whiskey and
Yeah.
check you out.
Okay. So
as a whiskey, it's between a 3 and a 4 because it's not whiskey enough for me. But as a drink, as something I could just sip on and shoot, it tastes like a mixed drink. It tastes like a cocktail, in my opinion.
Interesting.
And as a cocktail, I would rate it a 6 or a 7. It is very sweet. I would not drink it a lot because it would eventually get too rich. But as like a quick shooter, or even, maybe a little tiny thing to sip on during like ice cream or something like that, I think I would probably enjoy it. But
I think you're stereotyping whiskey there.
I am
kidding.
definitely.
I'm kidding.
I am definitely stereotyping whiskey, but whiskey is not supposed to be sweet like this.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that, and I'm not disagreeing. I just wanted to jerk your chain for a minute.
Thanks.
I would, like I said, this is one that's going in the cabinet to come out. If I want something to shoot, if I want, especially if I have people that are not whiskey people that I'm sharing with,
Okay.
I would pull this out.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't, very rarely would I pull this out just to pull it out. It tastes delicious. But as far as, honestly, I think my rating would be 5.
Okay.
It's delicious. It's just not something I'm going to go to if I'm going to go out, because I've said this before, more often than not, when I'm drinking, whiskey, I'm having a cigar with it. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to pull this out to have it with a cigar.
No.
The sweetness, like I said, I'm going to pull it out if I want something real quick, just to shoot. And if I have some people that are not whiskey drinkers, I'm going to say, hey, try this. So I'm going to put it at a 5, middle of the road. It tastes well, but it doesn't fit into a lot of situations for me.
Okay. Yeah.
It's something I would keep in the cabinet, but I'm not. I'm going to let you take it home because you want to make that thing. Happy birthday.
In November.
So happy early birthday, belated birthday, whichever one you want it to be.
All right. Well,
yeah, like I say, it just doesn't fit in enough situations for me to rank higher. So
yeah.
I guess I'm kind of along the same lines as you. But overall, it tasted amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm totally with you. Like it tastes really good. I could drink and drink and drink it and make myself sick. But for a whiskey, it's not a whiskey I would.
You expect a certain flavor profile
Exactly.
with a whiskey.
Exactly.
And this is deviating from that. And I applaud them deviating from it. And I applaud they set out, whether they set out for it or not, it tastes like salted caramel.
Yes.
Just like it. It tastes amazing.
Yes, it
That's
does.
just not, when I think whiskey, that's not what
where you go.
I want.
Yeah. Like I will, some whiskey has like caramel notes, but
it's not like you just put caramel in your mouth.
Yeah. This is, you put caramel in your mouth, it's melting on your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
That aftertaste, by the way, as I've been sitting here and you've been talking, I think the aftertaste is kind of like a vanilla.
Okay.
Sitting on the back of my tongue. So that's
Okay.
what I'm going to go with for the aftertaste.
Yeah, it's not bad. I can see myself getting burnt out. If, like I said, it would be one that came out occasionally. I can see
Yes.
myself getting burnt out of it.
I can see myself cooking with this one a lot, making like French toast with it, forcing friend Shelby to make us cookies or something with it.
Friend Shelby, I think you just got drafted.
You still have to make us whiskey, bourbon, cinnamon rolls, by the way. I didn't forget.
I'm not eating sugar. I'm trying not to eat sugar, so you're gonna have to tell me how good those are. That's why I'm gonna let you take that home and make French toast. But all right. So I reckon that'll about wrap up our final thoughts here.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna transition now.
Mail time.
And read some mail.
All right.
We got exactly. You guys are Johnny on the spot with your emails, because let me tell you, we'll go all week and not get a single email and be sitting here day of like, well
shit,
I guess we're just gonna have to nag them to send us more emails.
And then on Sunday,
usually in the afternoon, we get an email.
Yeah. So, but please email us, for the love of God. More so than just my family. And thank you, friend Morgan and friend Shelby, who have emailed us, and thank you, Mom and Dad, who have also emailed us. But I want to hear from all of you, not just the people that love me because I'm me.
And love me because I'm, and just deal with me because I'm here. I guess I shouldn't say. Anyway,
my dad genuinely likes you. You and him have the similar.
Papa Cross is cool. He's cool people.
Yeah, you've never met my mom. She's way more like me, more liberal and hippie-ish.
Okay.
Damn. That shade.
How is that shade? Okay.
The face you made with it. People on YouTube, back me up. That face you made with it was
Oh, I'll have to go back
painful.
and watch. When was this? This was an hour and 9.5. All right.
that was a little painful.
Oh, I'll have to go check that. I didn't realize I made a face. All right. So we got a message from, let me tell you, for a while, I was confused. Well, I wasn't confused. I was like, I don't know this person. I looked at the name and I was like, is this like our first person that neither one of us knows?
Sad.
And then I read the email and got to the end and it says, love you, Megan, Mom. And I was like, oh, well, I guess this is not our first rando emailing us.
My parents are divorced, so my mom took her maiden name again.
Understandable.
And so she is not across anymore. She is her maiden name. So I can definitely see why that was confusing. And that's
I wanted to make a joke, something like she's parallel now. Across. I'm
I'm not going to laugh at that.
I cracked myself up.
I hate you.
All right. So Megan's mom writes, first, I want to wish you a happy new year.
Happy New Year, Mom.
I want to let you know how impressed I am with the way you can review whiskey. Of course, I've spent a bit buying new whiskeys to try out. I also wanted to thank you for mentioning people who have problems with alcohol on your New Year's show. You mentioned a phone number that people could call. I wonder if you can mention it on all your shows. Well, it's kind of a long number and blah, blah, blah.
We're going to put it in our show notes.
We're going to put it in the show notes, and we're going to mention it in our little social media blurb.
Yes.
That it is in the show notes. So anybody that needs help can find it there. So we appreciate that suggestion. She also writes, I have really enjoyed some of your subjects you do on the Wonder portion of your show. I think the Olympics was my favorite so far. Keep up the great work. I'm not going to read the rest of it because I'll read that too. Why the hell not? As far as criticisms go, I would be careful on interrupting each other.
Fuck you, Tyler.
While the other is speaking so that we can stay involved in the subject and not go somewhere else. So I'm terrible about that because
Are you?
Yeah, because I'm an asshole and my opinion matters. No, I'm kidding.
Episode 5, Dag Hammarskjöld.
Yes.
The shit show.
I was drunk. No, I think we can, video wise, last week was the shit show.
No, yeah, last week was technical difficulty.
Last week was it was a shit show for me. Anyway, yes, I have been working on that. I've heard it about the Dag Hammarskjöld from several people now. So yes, I'm working on that, but at the same time, we do want it to be conversation, like almost like we're having a conversation.
Yes.
So there's bound to be some interruptions. I'm just that person in a conversation that will cut everybody off to say what I want to say because I'm dumb and it'll leave my brain if I don't get it out. So
I will say we've had a couple people compliment and comment on the fact you and I are very different politically.
Not even that, just
in general.
Yeah, in general, we're very opposite people.
Opposite people. And a lot of people have said how they really like that about our show is that we are so different from one another. There's always going to be that good conversation, that good debate there.
And we can agree and disagree. And
yeah, and you're still my best friend despite you being wrong all the time. It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Love you.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do want to pause the bus for a minute here, not get too crazy on this, but you just said we're opposite politically, and earlier you said you're liberal, which implies that I'm a Trump fanatic. I am no way, shape, or form a Trump fanatic.
Trump.
I know, but
we're not going to go super deep into politics.
No, I just want to throw that out there.
No, that's a whole different other cup of tea.
I'm more libertarian than anything.
Yes,
anyway.
I'm more socialist. So he's libertarian. I'm socialist.
Government. Meh.
Meh.
Meh. That's going to be my sound effect for when I don't like something. Meh. Anyway. So, yes, we do want it to seem like a conversation. And yes, we are very different people, but we're friends. And unlike most Actually, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to take an optimistic route. I'm trying to work on positivity, people.
I'm rubbing off on him.
No,
Oh.
I'm realizing how negative I am. I think the majority of the country is like us. They can disagree with one another on social and political issues. I think the vocal minorities can't. And, I think the vocal minorities might make up 5% of the population total on both sides. So I think we're a pretty good representation of
The average American.
the average American people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I don't really know how we got away from talking over one another and onto this subject.
Because it ties into that.
Yeah, it does, because we have points we want to make, and sometimes
we need to tell the other one to shut up for a second so we can make those points.
Yeah, and I'm dumb and forget shit. I mean, hell, I couldn't remember fucking God damn it, I can't remember it now. Fucking the tuberculosis thing.
Consumption?
I wanted to say confounded.
Confounded.
But I knew that wasn't right. See, I'm dumb.
You are confounded.
I'm dumb, guys. But yeah, so it is something that we're working on. It's really hard when we're virtual.
Yes.
Which we're going to try not to do
again.
Right. Until we can get that worked out.
Yeah, that was a nightmare.
Just because if we do it virtual, it'll be podcast only. We won't
video.
have any video. Or it'll just be me on video.
Yeah, that was a disaster. Absolute disaster.
Yeah. But
I think we were awake until like 2 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
Recording.
So.
Yeah,
no, that was actually, ironically, that was Sunday, Monday.
It was MLK.
It was MLK, and I had the spontaneous trip that I planned on Sunday. So I had to be up early to take the train, so I only got a couple hours of sleep. But is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's sorry, we got away from your
your email, Mom. Sorry.
Hold on. She literally said, as far as the criticism goes, I would be careful on interrupting each other when the other is speaking so we can stay involved and on subject or in the subject and not go somewhere else. Well, we just went somewhere else in the middle of your email. How you like us now?
I mean, it's part of our personality. Hope you like
Yep.
us for it, because
Yep.
I don't see either of us changing.
Dad dick. Oh, that is my new favorite word.
Dad dick. Okay.
Yep.
I think that's 2 words. Maybe it's hyphenated.
Phrase. It is 2 words. 2 words. It's phrase. I should say phrase. Anyway, she finishes her email with, "Thanks again for teaching us new things." And then she leaves a note that she wants to remain anonymous. So I'm not going to read that. And she says, "Love you, Megan, Mom."
Thanks, Mom.
Should I read the other email?
What is the other email?
Yeah, I'll read it.
Okay.
She goes, in all caps, I am should I read this?
Yeah, I know what you're
Okay,
talking about. Just
yeah.
read it.
She says,
We need more mail time.
Yeah, she says, "I am embarrassed. I should have wished you well before this. Megan, I hope your test went well. Saying prayers. Love always, Mom."
Thanks,
So-
Mom.
Thanks, Megan's mom. We appreciate that. The feedback, the suggestions, your anonymous bit, we appreciate as well.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I am going to say your name, Mom, because you have one of the prettiest names I've ever heard. My mom's name is
Ugh.
Leo. I hate you, Tyler. Shut up. My mom's name is Leona, and Leona is such a unique and pretty name. I absolutely love that name. So I'm going to say Leona is my mom. If you see a Leona flooding around social media, which you won't because she doesn't have any, but if you do, it's probably my mom.
Mama Leona.
Mama Leona. We're Greek, not Italian, but
Similar area.
don't tell that to my grandfather.
Okay. Well, I think we're sitting here at an hour and 20 minutes. Our last couple episodes have been pushing on an hour and 45.
We did some deep,
we did some
subjects.
deep, dark chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, whew, I'm out of breath after that one. I'm just kidding. I I guess if you want to reach out to us, check the show notes, check the video. You can see them all plastered on the screen there. I worked really hard on, adding that Facebook thing and getting things in the right order so that it didn't smear over the logo there.
Hey.
That's a joke. I didn't work that hard. Stickers, $3.
Definitely.
For sure. We're working on the website. If you guys have any ideas or want anything on the website in particular, shoot us an email. Let us know. It's in development. I'm not going to say I can do anything, but I can do a lot of things on there. It's just a slow process, especially the weeks when I have to research. It just kind of takes up the time that I would normally work on the website. So, yeah, email us. Let us know what you want on there, what you would like to see.
whiskeyandwonder@gmail.com. Please, for the love of God, email us, preferably before Sunday, so we aren't like sitting here like panicking, like, oh shit, we don't have anything to use.
Oh, I know exactly what I'm gonna do.
Oh,
I'm gonna chat. I'll tell everybody I'm gonna chastise you guys for not emailing us, just like we used to have to do. You're gonna get stern talking to if you don't email us.
You hear that? You're gonna get your butt whipped.
Mm-hmm. I don't really know about that, but I can't come through the radio or the monitor or whatever screen they're watching on. But email us.
Please email us.
Please. And I reckon on that note, we go ahead and end this.
Okay. Well, guys, it's great to be back in the studio. I'm glad I'm getting to hang out with Tyler again.
Woo!
Hey. Let's be honest, I just wanted to see Bo more than anything.
Yeah, I know. Especially since this is going to be the only opportunity we get for a few weeks. Yeah, to see him.
Yep. So I love my Australian Shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
Send us money on PayPal so I can buy my own Australian Shepherd, please. Anyway.
No. So let's put that towards the podcast and growing it right now. Down the road, maybe. All right. So
on that note, guys, thank you again so much. I've had a lot of fun being back with Tyler, as I'm sure you guys have been able to tell. As always, don't drink and drive. Cheers.